Tell me you've seen it. Come on up, girly. Oh, let's see if we're gonna fight tonight. Hey, 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 I've been
Hey,
waiting on
howdy,
you.
howdy.
I've been waiting on you. Please tell me you
What?
went and saw this movie with your
Oh
son.
yes, I did. My
You
son took
saw it? All
me.
right.
He
Do I
did,
need to
and I
put my
and I
boxing
got a
gloves
big,
on?
large popcorn with raisinets and a big icy.
I like it. Do I need to put my boxing gloves on?
No, I
Oh.
mean everything you said was correct. But I think the principal part of this movie was I don't know if you mentioned it, but of course it was about him breaking away from his family, breaking away from his dad,
Sure,
from under his dad's control.
sure.
His dad was a horrible villain. The boy almost died from the Pepsi thing, and
Hey,
then he
yeah, and
talking
he
about
goes,
something.
is he going to be able to
When is he gonna
perform?
be able to perform? Like he was just worried about this show.
Girlie, did you
And
believe that though?
yes,
You really believe that?
yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Joe Jackson, even though he was a villain, he whooped his children. Like we ain't whoop children, but you know,
They made it look like whoopings were just a foreign concept. You know
well,
what I mean?
right? Because I was like, oh, you step in the room for privacy to catch a whooping. I think that's normal, Or when he caught a whipping in front of his brothers because he was kind of flippity with the
And it
mouth.
was flipped. He was flipping at the
He
mouth.
was a little flippity at the mouth. And when you flip it at the mouth, see, I would have just been on the flow.
Correct.
Um, and so unless he had the opinion that his mama was gonna save him, but she never did protect them from their daddy, so it wasn't like she gave him that uh kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like she didn't mislead him like I can protect you from your daddy.
And
It was just
according to Joseph, the mama gave them children more whoopings than he ever did. Nobody ever talks about that. She issued out whoopings too, according to
yeah.
his daddy. But
Um,
every film I've ever seen, every documentary, they paint her as picture perfect, like she never spanked any of her kids.
Yeah, and she definitely spanked them, but I'm pretty sure, especially being boys, it's a huge difference between the spanking I get from my mom and the spanking I get from my dad.
See, I can't say that because my mama was
Come
brutal.
on, mama, hurry up, mama, come on, give me this whoop before daddy get here. I mean,
See, but I just
most
didn't
boys out
like.
here say that they'll prefer their mama whooping than their daddy.
I agree with that. Now, what I did not like was that they just made Joe so cardboard. Like he had one note the whole film, just one. He was just pure evil. Like
At least they didn't focus on him cheating and having outside kids and stuff. I'm glad they didn't. So they didn't focus on that part at all. It was
yeah,
simply about the fear that Michael had of his dad that you knew because he even went to the people that was working for him saying, "Well, can you tell my dad or can you fire my dad? Like, can you tell my dad it was my idea for the solar project? That it's your idea for the solar project? Can you fire my dad?" And the
but
man
what?
was like, "Well, when you want me to do that?" He was like, "Now."
Yeah, but what I find funny though is at the end, close to the end of Michael's life, the one of the main people he called was his dad. When he felt like he was being bullied or being made to do things he didn't want to do, he would call his dad, and his daddy would come over there and regulate. So they came to a nice resolve as father and son, and that same fear
Well,
that you
this is the
had.
thing. It's nobody never said that Joe wasn't valuable. Joe was extremely valuable, and I think that him having that mindset. Okay. So what I got from it was Joe had this idea of what he wanted his family to be, and he wanted
Yeah,
all of these boys included. And I
yeah,
don't think that he's wrong for that. I
yeah.
don't at all. I completely understand where he's coming from. All these boys worked hard. I worked all these boys. They was all up. They didn't get to go to sleep and da da da. Everybody caught their butt whoopings and did all this. And he put out the plan for them. You can't take that away from him at
No,
all. Like if it wasn't for Joe Jackson, literally would not be a Jackson 5. Literally
no,
would not. So Joe Jackson is valuable. You can't take that away from him. The
right.
point that the movie was making was there is a point when a man got to step out on his own, and then
Yeah.
when the man got to step out on his own, he got to look at it. He got to see his daddy. He got to see his daddy.
Okay.
He got to be able to say he can't tell other people do this and fire my dad and do this. He got to look him in his face and say
I like
that this.
that.
So he got to see his daddy. He got to stand up for what he wants, because that's part of him becoming a man in that process. And
Yeah.
so as the years go on, of course he still understood my daddy was valuable. My daddy was a force for me. My daddy fought for me. He was the protector for me. You didn't hear all these stories about Michael Jackson and none of his brothers being molested and stuff like
You
that.
got that right. They were never
Because
on.
they dad
Correct.
people
None of
wasn't
them
gonna
went to
mess with Joe.
jail. None of them
He
got
was
on
a
drugs.
protector of
Yeah.
his boys. You have to admire him and love him for that. I'm sure that's why his wife stayed with him for all these years, even though he was cheating or doing whatever he was
Yeah.
doing, because he was about family. He even
Yeah.
told Michael, he said, "You gonna find out about family." Well, when it get to the brother sister dynamic, it's different. It kind of gave me a little bit of that Glorilla, okay?
Mhm.
Where how far do I have to carry these people I grew up with?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
everybody, and I'm glad his mama said it. We all here because of him. We
Yep.
in this position because of him.
Yep.
No, Joe say, it's because of me.
Yeah.
It really was because of Joe.
Yeah.
To be 100% honest, it really, like, just think about it. So New Edition had the talent. They had the talent. To this day, can't nobody deny every member of New Edition talent. But when they didn't have that daddy there that could fight for them, when they didn't have that daddy there that could make sure the contracts was correct, they came home for 7 years to the projects.
Correct.
So Joe is invaluable to his family.
Yeah.
He was a good father.
Yeah.
Later on in life, after Michael finished doing his dream, because what was happening was his dream or what he wanted, and he saw when he closed his eyes and went to sleep, and my best line of the whole movie, when he was in the pool and they say he was gonna get the creative whatever was coming from God that was gonna tell him about his.
All right, don't give it to Prince.
And he say, if I'm not here to get it, he gonna give it to Prince. I hollered. Yes,
that
baby.
part I like.
Look, baby. That. I say yes, baby. They're gonna give it to Prince, baby, because Prince was sure getting the creative genius as well. Yes, he was.
Yes,
look,
he was.
Yes, he was. I want a Prince movie. Thank you.
I love that.
I love that. I say, yes, baby. I loved it. I loved it. So I think the movie was doing what it was supposed to do. I think that a lot of things were left out on purpose because, like you said, this was a rise to glory kind of movie for Michael Jackson, and it was a triumph over whatever, which really kind of delved into the relationship of him and his father and the struggle he had internally to break out of that. And because I was proud of him when he said in the hospital, I'm gonna give him this one last tour because I owe it to my family. That was his decision. He said, I'm gonna give him this one, because it wasn't his decision at first. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't his decision at first. And I think if he would have been more creatively involved in the Pepsi and all this stuff, then he would have been able to say, look, we don't need to do this, this, and this, because he one of those perfectionists and he liked to get involved. I think he was just showing up to be there for his brothers and he wasn't really paying attention, and then all this other kind of stuff happened. Yeah. And it's unfortunate that happened to him. And they kind of alluded to that, he's gonna be in pain for the rest of his life, and they alluded to that.
How they basically made an excuse for every bad decision he was going to make in the future. For me, a lot of it just felt like excuses. Like it really did.
It was.
And you blamed 90% of everything that this dude was going to go through on the daddy, which I also felt was unfair. And they made it look like Michael was. They made it look like Michael was the only one in the family that even got whoopings. It was just like, come on.
Yeah, they didn't focus on the other kids catching whoopings, which really did. Okay, so you know what? Because I know, and we watched the Jackson. We know they all caught whoopings, but really, like you said, if I'm a new kid, which they had a lot of new kids coming in, like they want to see, this Michael. So they coming in and they don't have the background information. They haven't watched the 50,000 other
Correct.
Jackson 5 movies. And
Correct.
they would see that and say, oh, well, just Michael was beaten and just Michael.
Correct.
Okay, so yes, I 100% agree with you about that.
I
If
like
they
that.
coming in, the narrative is a bad spin. And that's why I see why the family didn't like some parts of it, like about
Yeah.
because it does make Joe look very bad. And 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 you know, people would focus on him being like a villain.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, he was telling the truth. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. Like, like, when I'm gonna get my credit? Like, like, am I gonna? So I'm nothing. I'm Swiss cheese. I'm chopped liver. Like,
What were your thoughts?
he fought hard. He made deals in rooms where people like him shouldn't have never existed.
Yeah.
That was fantastic for him and for his family, and you know, he just had to connect. I don't know how he got the connections, but he had the connections.
What were
Now
your?
somebody said something about Gladys Knight.
Yeah, she was in the movie for like three minutes. Why? Why was
Which one
Gladys
was
Knight in the movie
Gladys
at
Knight?
all?
Cause they said that it wasn't Diana Ross got the credit for, because she took him on her show and she introduced him, but it
Sure.
was Gladys Knight who actually found them.
Discovered them. That is okay. I get that. But Diana Ross is what we know, even though it was staged.
Right. The story was spent for Diana Ross, but we know why that was, because we watched Dreamgirls.
Yeah, but they lived with Diana Ross for when
For
they
a
first
year.
got to California. So
For a
why?
year.
Because there were, and then I found I can't remember her name now, but the actress had already shot all
Yep.
her parts.
She did.
And they pulled it all out, and I thought that was really unfair.
Well, they pulled it out because they were going to lean into the narrative that the same kind of thing with Brandy and Oh Boy. You know,
that would have been interesting.
No, now that is the actual. I believe that's the actual story. and the only thing I'm gonna tell you why, because when we watched those shows and we saw Michael and her perform together, it is no doubt, because he was a young, inexperienced boy, and he was enraged, jealous when she was hugging Lionel Richie, when she was hugging any other man, and when he came out with Dirty Diana, and he said, "You just gonna use your seductive powers on all these men in Dirty Diana," and he said, "But you not gonna use them on me." And
I did not think about Diana Ross as
Diana Ross.
Diana.
That boy was. I don't know if anything actually happened. It could have possibly happened, because in her interviews, she was saying stuff like, "Oh, I didn't know he was gonna be so sexy." Now, see, as back then, a man could say that about Brooke Shields or say that about this one or that one, and it wasn't really looked at. But you a woman, and then they had they had made her, you know, look like, oh, she was just this woman that everybody just want to have, and she's so beautiful and gorgeous, and you know, she could seduce any man and all this stuff. But then her persona was so clean.
Sure.
That for her to actually say that, that's what kind of was like, what? Like, even though, you know, some of the songs was kind of, you know, racy or risque. But that was a thing. Diana Ross and Michael Jackson was definitely I just love him. And every time, oh, I love you. And bring him up on stage while she was doing all her pelvic tilting and dancing out. You
said pelvic tilt.
because I would say a twerk, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a twerk. It was a gyration. It was a gyration, but it definitely wasn't it wasn't a twerk.
Yeah.
And so the thing about it, he got up there, just danced on her and did this little thing, and she hugged him. But yeah, do the deep dive on that. That was definitely so. And look how
the rumors.
They're gonna zoom in on his facial expression when she is up there giving him an award, and she literally hugs. It's two men she hugged, and when they zoom in, you know how they do at the awards, and they zoom in on his face, and any man or woman that never been in a relationship and been just pissed off, jealous, you can tell that's that look. that look on his face is like, I don't want to see this. Like,
Oh wow.
oh yeah, and then and when he get up on stage, the way he look at Lionel Richie,
Now that would have been great. Now
like
that's something we needed to see.
look, get up off of my one.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Did you find Joe the way they made Joe up to be distracting? Because it pulled at times it pulled me out of the
Why
movie
did they
completely.
do that?
Correct. He looked cartoonish. He looked like Jafar from Lion King at times. It was very I didn't like it. And it was unnecessary. We know who you supposed to be, and it just it looked very cartoonish at times. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Did not like it. It was unnecessary. For $200 million. They made all their money back in one weekend too. It was $200 million to make it. They made $217 million in one weekend. So it looks like
no, because baby, the Michael Jackson fans are out. Let me
yeah,
tell you, they are dressed up, coming into the theater dressed up like Michael. They getting up during the songs and actually performing.
yeah,
The groups are getting up performing the Thriller. They
yeah,
doing it. Yeah. So the Michael Jackson fans are Michael Jacksoning. If you
yeah.
put Michael Jackson name on something, it's gonna sell. I
It's
don't. You apparently you can put your Michael Jackson name on a box of boo boo, and it's gonna sell. These people are going to buy it. They love Michael Jackson that much. But
Yep.
yeah,
And I
but
think that was
the
part of the
fact that it was competing with the NBA YoungBoy, which apparently them people rock in the theater, like you can hear them outside the theater.
oh wow.
Yes, they in there, and it's NBA YoungBoy, and you could like when you standing outside, you could hear the people in the theater rapping and singing. I said I didn't even know people like that little boy like that, baby.
I didn't
It's
know anything about it.
it's total fandom. I mean, it's fandom almost to the extent where I was like, who they think he is, Michael Jackson?
right.
Baby, I was like, wait, what are they doing? And they got purple flags. And it's all, baby, it's a whole thing. Like I didn't know.
I didn't
I
know.
didn't know. I literally didn't know, but apparently it's a whole thing with the NBA YoungBoy following and his movie, which is like a documentary kind of thing
Yeah.
with him. He's performing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they have souvenir items in the theater?
Yep. They had the gloves and the jackets and they had everything.
Oh, they had jackets?
Yes, they had everything.
I mean souvenirs for you
like
all
the
to purchase.
posters and the
You could buy jackets at your
they
theater?
had everything. Yes.
Oh, they didn't have. Well, I went to the pre-screening, so they gave us a glove, a fedora, the little VIP.
Oh, well, all of this, of course, was for purchase, and they had a section where you could stand up and actually take a picture,
Oh,
like
wow.
a life-size picture with the Michael Jackson. Yes. And it was decorated and everything. Like, yeah, because I'm telling you, these people are dressed up. They coming in there, they moonwalking, they got the socks on, they got they are dressed up, they singing with him, they singing, this a whole experience. Like,
what were your thoughts with the movie ending in 1988? I felt, of course, did you see how many executive
that
producers?
was like a part one. I didn't really pay attention to the executive producers.
Every Jackson name was on there.
Really?
It was crazy. I'm like, y'all knew this was going to be a big cash grab, and everybody wanted to make sure their name was on it so they can get a piece of it. It felt kind of sleazy. It really did. It felt kind of sleazy. But I understand this is it's supposed to be a part one, but I just felt like they wanted to maximize on the fandom because there's no controversy in this film outside of Joseph. So they knew for the true Michael Jackson fans that don't want to hear anything about anything with regards to negativity, that this would please them.
This is the way to go. This is
right.
the way to go.
And Paris Jackson was against it for that reason. She was like, my dad wasn't perfect, blase, and a bunch of this movie is nothing but lies. So she
really like what part was a lie? Oh, you know what? They said that they said when he got his original nose job, when he got the first nose job, he actually fell and broke his nose, and that's the reason that but in the movie they made it look like, oh, I'm looking at Peter Pan nose and I want my nose to look like Peter Pan nose.
See, I don't, and you know, we've heard so many iterations of that story. I've always thought that all of that plastic surgery was elective, just because we know by Thriller it was his search for perfection. So we know the Thriller nose was completely elective, but
Well, they said the first one was
I didn't know
done
that.
because his nose actually got broken. So
I
then
didn't
he
know
ended
that.
up doing the nose. It was during some kind of rehearsal or whatever, and he slipped and fell and he did break his nose. But then they said that the first one was so bad, it was horrible. That the first one was so bad that he went in and fixed the first one, and that's
Okay.
how he ended up getting to the second one. And then the rest of them after that, he just was
Just went crazy. The
he,
Thriller nose was the best nose. And I'm like, he should have just stopped there. I like the Thriller nose, but
yeah, Thriller nose was a good nose.
yeah,
I like how they brought in like the Crips and the Bloods.
yeah.
I like how they made it where his music was associated with what's happening at the time. Like,
But
you know,
but it was so jarring, and it just felt so lazy because we're not getting any smooth transitions. They would just throw up a year, let them spit out a couple of lines, and we move into the next musical number. That's the way it felt for me. Like even when they moved from Motown to Epic, nobody's gonna talk about how Jermaine stayed over there at Motown because he married Barry Gordy's daughter.
yep, they
For
didn't
me,
talk about the marriage to Barry Gordy's daughter. The daddy just mentioned, oh, well, Jermaine decided to stay over there, but we going over here. And then Michael was
for a
like,
man that is that controlling, which is what y'all trying to convince us of, you're not gonna tell me that you're not mad at your son for staying over there when you want to maintain control over all your sons. We ain't gonna say
didn't they
nothing.
just replace Jermaine with
With one of the other brothers.
yeah, like he like I got replacements on deck, but it's one that I can't replace.
To me, that was a point of contention. I did not like how Quincy Jones just magically appeared. I'm like, The Wiz should have been a part of this. This is the only reason he knows who Quincy
And
Jones
like I
is.
didn't even know that was Quincy Jones. Like I didn't know that was. I had no.
I didn't know it
A
was
lot
Latoya
of those
Jackson when she
people.
popped
A
up the
lot of those
second
people. I
time.
didn't even know. Like I was like, who is this? Like the one, like Gladys Knight was that? That was Gladys Knight who was behind the stage who gave him the card to Motown. And I it's like I don't know who she is. Like there's nothing that it's nothing pops up on the screen and says, "Oh, this is Gladys
Right.
Knight." There's nothing. I don't know. I just see a random woman just walking up and giving him a card. That's
Right.
not telling me that's Gladys Knight. I don't know who that is.
No.
You know
And
what I'm saying?
for us, you know, we have all the history going in, but I just feel like this is a horrible representation for somebody that's brand spanking new. When you see a biopic, you shouldn't have to know who that person is or have a backstory before you sit down in that theater. And without the backstories that we both have, this story quickly falls apart. You know what I mean? It just wasn't.
Yeah, it would have just been a little, cute picture about a little guy who can sing, and he likes a lot of animals, like, and he wants to go to Never Never Land. Like you have
We
no
never made it to
idea.
Neverland. Jafar was wonderful. We can't agree with
Yeah,
that.
well, they said Jafar was wonderful. They said the daddy's acting was wonderful, which it was. But of
Yeah.
course, I mean, like you look at the actors you're using, like
Correct.
everything that he did really really good.
He did very
And
well.
he did really, really good when he said, you know what, I'm going to do this last tour with my brothers because I owe it to my family, and then that's it. Then I'm out on my own kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the triumph part of the movie. Like,
Yeah.
let me get out here and I want to thank my brothers or whatever.
Yeah.
But, still never didn't say his daddy name, which his daddy was looking like,
Yep.
oh my God, can you say my name?
Yeah. See, what I'm gonna tell you, the piece that I love, that really showed his acting ability when the daddy faced off with him one of the earlier times where he was basically saying, "Oh, you're going on this tour," and he grabs the doorknob and tenses up. I was like, it wasn't a whole lot of dialogue there, but you really felt the tension between the two of them. It was his acting for this to be his very first picture. He did a really, really good job. As Mike, he sounded, he looked, He danced just like him. I mean, there were times where I did not. I felt like I was watching the real Michael
Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah.
It was really good.
The dancing was so spot on. He was
Yeah.
killing it. He was killing it. Everybody was like, "Oh wow," like it was. They was like, I was like, Michael Jackson really did these dances, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, all that. Then when the steam was coming up and all that, everything was kind of spot on. It was a really good Michael Jackson extended video.
Thank you. We're here now, Shirley. Let's get to the real. It was nothing but making of the video. That's what it was. A giant making of the video.
A 2-hour-long video, because the music hit all. You were just singing along at all the right parts and everything. as they ripping through time, you just singing the song.
That's it.
And next thing you know, you start singing the song, and it's a whole nother year popping up. Every time you start singing, oh, it's another year. Take me through there.
That's exactly what it was. It was 80% video and 20% dialogue. That's why I did not. I mean, I loved what I saw, but I cannot say this was a great movie because it wasn't. It wasn't a movie. It was a giant video.
It was a giant video of making up the videos of Michael Jackson. Yeah, because he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put y'all in my short film," and I was like, "You know what? That's what he was doing. He did short films, like Thriller and everything. Like, yes." And then it took you through like this song. You just seeing them pop up, and.
But here's another thing. Now this is just me being analytical. If we're just going to focus on Michael in the way that we focused on Michael, then the first 20 or 30 minutes of that film was unnecessary. Did you realize that they never even called the brothers' names outside of Marlon? They could have been anybody. None of them were called by name.
None of them. And said Jermaine.
Yeah, right. That's it. But here's the thing. If we were going to paint this story as nothing more than the tension between the daddy and the son, then we could have started a little bit later in life, because you really didn't. The only thing you did was roll through the videos of him and the brothers. But we could have started closer to the breakup or closer to them leaving Motown and begin the story there. If we're not going to tell a complete story, because obviously we didn't,
Well, I think part of that story with Michael Jackson is that everybody wants to know he started at 8 years old. Like, I think that's a huge thing. He's only 8 and he's in nightclubs singing and has to go to school tomorrow. Yeah. And he can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can't have friends, and he's, they're working. So the life is not regular, there's absolutely nothing that's regular about this childhood. So except for the, brothers and sisters and things like that. Zero mention of Janet. At this point, Janet would have been, she would have been on Good Times.
And that's all you could have. You could have just threw out a line. Janet's away doing Good Times. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was like she did not even exist.
And this is the thing too. So if Janet was away doing Good Times, so they was always with Michael. So who was with Janet?
Correct. And where's Rebe? And there were times where it looked like Michael was the only child. I didn't like that either. I'm like, you got all these babies and you got this much time to devote to Michael. Where are the rest of your kids? Oh my God. I didn't like that. It was really bad.
Well, I thought it was because Michael was the baby and the other ones
was like, the baby what?
Oh yeah, he wasn't a baby, huh?
No! Janet would have been the baby.
Janet would have been the baby. Janet would have been the baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't like that either.
Because I would think that the mama would be with her daughter if she's off shooting.
Correct. And so it was nuances like that. It was things like that just made my score continue to go down, because it was it was just the story just was not there. If I didn't know the story before I got there, I definitely didn't get it in the movie theater, and I just thought it was lazy. All those time jumps was just lazy. They made no attempt.
So the critics rated it at a 33
I'm
on Rotten Tomatoes, but the fans rated it at a 98.
sure did.
Because the fans are biased. Like, you can't say nothing. I
Correct.
saw you gonna put a box of boo-boo and they gonna be like, yay, Michael.
Now this is Beyonce. This is what Beyonce is trying to get to.
Right. Like, I just want to be like, it don't matter what I do.
It don't matter what I do.
They're gonna buy it.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go with the critics on this one. He was spectacular, and I hate to rate it so low, but I have to rate it low because there was no story. There literally was no story.
Well, I found the story to be so powerful.
I don't know how.
Well, just that and then of course this is just me too, because I know how hard it is for men to become men. Like it's hard to make that transition from a boy to a man.
Girl, but you knew he whooped them babies before you got there.
Well, I mean, I did know he whooped them, but it's just I knew the fear that they had of their father.
And I knew the concert that they were going to use to get him out of the group. I knew it was so predictable. When they start giving years, I'm like, okay, this is about to happen. Oh, this is about to happen. I turned to my neighbors and said, okay, he's going to stand on that stage and say, this is the last concert.
He sure said it, yeah.
I knew all of it. It was zero. It was nothing new. Okay, you got to take some points off for Bubbles.
Now you said Bubbles was gonna look like CGI.
He did.
He didn't look like CGI.
Yes, he did.
You know what? Was you like in one of those big old movie theaters, like a IMAX?
We were.
Okay, so I wasn't in the IMAX. I was at the regular theater. So he didn't look CGI to me. He didn't. Honestly, I'm being honest. He didn't look CGI to me.
The way that monkey face moved, it was beyond human. Monkeys' expressions are not that human-like.
They didn't. Let me tell you something. I did not pay attention to that on the monkey. I was thinking when the monkey got out the van, I said, "Well, I thought the monkey was gonna look more like CGI," and he didn't look CGI. He didn't look on the regular school because they did have two screens where we was at two. I could have went to the bigger screen or the smaller screen.
Right.
We just went to the regular screen because I said, oh, well, people gonna want to go into the bigger screen. We go into the regular screen. So when we went to the regular screen, which the people had said don't sit up close to it, because when the people posted, like you were saying about the CGI, they were saying stuff. They said don't sit too close. But then when I saw what I saw and what they posted, a picture of what they saw, it looked totally different on the regular screen than it looked on the IMAX screen.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that much grace. Don't you think we spent too much time with Bubbles?
Of course,
Bubbles got more screen time than his actual
walking the llama down the street, like for real. Like you don't have to take a llama for a walk. He gonna poop where he at. Like why am I walking this llama? But anyway, let me hush.
We spent too much time with that monkey. It was so ridiculous. And then,
but I did like his explanation when he told his mom, I can't be friends with the animals are my friends because I can't be friends with the regular kids because they all just want to look at me and take pictures of me. Yeah. Which that would change the dynamic of anybody's world. I can't be a regular person. Yeah. I can't go to the Walmart. I can't, my whole life has changed. I'm a different, and if you remember that kind of energy that was in the air around Michael Jackson, yeah, he was not safe. Like they were on him. They was rocking the cars. They was doing, and I was saying to myself, these people act like they possessed. Yeah, Yeah, and to me, I felt like what he was putting out was really, really good. It was really inspirational. It was creative. I loved all his style of music, everything he did off the wall, everything he did, Thriller, everything. But Prince, I also loved everything Prince put out, but he didn't have that type of fandom
That's
that
true.
went crazy. Like I was like, what's happening over here?
They were passing
What am
out.
I not picking up over here? But then
Yeah.
some of the other things that they mentioned about how he moved behind the scenes, like Michael was smart as hell.
He was a
When he
shrewd
went,
businessman,
he
and
was
we did
extremely.
not.
When he went to that man and said, "You finna make him put my video on MTV,
Yeah, yeah,
baby,"
yeah,
and
and we
was
did.
just,
We did not get enough of that.
and then
How?
sit right there.
Yeah. Where's Tatum O'Neal? That was supposedly his first girlfriend. That would have happened in this time frame. We never even we didn't
Now
see
there
her.
was a girl that he left. Remember he left her sitting with the snake. Who was that girl?
That was his sister.
Oh, that wasn't it.
No, it took us forever to realize that was supposed to be LaToya. It wasn't his girlfriend. That was LaToya. See how bad this movie was.
Yeah, because I'm like, why are you leaving her with a snake?
It was LaToya.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Because I was thinking, okay, so he did have this girlfriend, but then, okay, so that was actually LaToya.
That was
Because I thought
LaToya.
every time, I thought you identified LaToya when she had a headband on.
I know.
Okay, you know what? I'm done.
I told you it
I'm
was
done.
so bad. It was so bad. We only saw Barry Gordy for all of 3 minutes, and you know how pivotal Barry Gordy was in this man's life. That was another point of contention that should have been explored more, because his daddy was jealous of Barry Gordy, and
they kind of showed, it alluded to that.
But it was this much. And it should have been much bigger, because it was a big thing. Michael saw Barry Gordy as a father to him.
And he got up and hugged him.
Yeah, but y'all, they only gave this man 5 minutes. I'm like, that was a storyline in itself. You know what I mean? It was a bunch of missed opportunities. And of course, they just hit the fast forward button and we back on stage. Every time we get to what should have been storyline, they said, nope, time to sing. We
felt like we was being chased around with a belt. Get
back on the stage.
Move to the next scene.
Yeah, it felt rushed. It felt really, really rushed. The whole movie was just, how quickly can we get to the next song? You know,
but then it was 2
hours. Exactly? That's my point. Why are we rushing and we got 2 hours and a whole nother movie after this one? Okay, girly, how are we gonna be able to watch a second movie when we know for a fact that the first set of allegations cannot even be mentioned? How is the biopic gonna have all these holes in it?
We gotta skip it.
We just gonna hit fast forward.
They can't mention it. Just say, "Oh my goodness, he had some legal trouble." That's 5 minutes. Next.
And hit the fast forward to get back on stage. I don't like it. That is making.
When did that happen? Like, what year did that happen?
93.
Oh, really? That early?
It was that early. It was 1993, the first set of allegations. Which is why we cut off at 1988.
But I thought, is that the boy who said that Michael Jackson, that his parents made him say something or whatever?
That was the $20 million boy, the first one, Jordan Chandler.
And he ended up saying that Michael was innocent.
Did he ever say that?
Oh. Wasn't there one boy who said? I don't
think we ever heard from Jordan Chandler. Now, people around the circle, said that, but I don't think we ever heard from Jordan Chandler again. Now, you may be talking about the second set of accusers in 2008, because they went back and forth, and then of course they did Leaving Neverland with 2 more boys, and then that turned out to be just a bunch of lies. So, yeah, I don't think the 93 people ever actually, the 93 person ever officially said he didn't do that to me. We don't know. But we know it looks pretty terrible, because the daddy was trying to blackmail him and get a 3-picture movie deal and all this craziness. And we do know the man was sleeping in the little boy bedroom, which I thought was, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't that I can't even I
I
can't
can't
even.
fathom. I cannot fathom a grown, and at that time he was in his 30s. Like you in your 30s, and you think it's okay for you to sleep in a little boy bedroom?
But
And
and then why did your parents think it was okay?
why
Why
did
did the
they?
parents think it was okay?
Exactly. Why did you think? Why were your
So
parents?
the judgment of the parents is definitely off.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And they like I said, and they had a big house. They were rich themselves. So
right.
yeah, I'm sure you had a guest room that Michael could have stayed in. And Michael, why are you standing in anybody's house? You're
Or
rich.
just go stay in the living room. Y'all, if you're conversing and having conversation,
Yeah.
go to the living room.
Yeah. So, like I said, of course, but now we're not gonna be able to even talk about that. We're just gonna hit fast forward to probably 2008. We're gonna marry Debbie, divorce Debbie. We're gonna marry Elvis' daughter, divorce her, and then allegations in 2008. We're gonna skip all past 1993 because we can't talk about it now. And all those scenes have already been shot, but because they got sued by the Chandler family, which part of their $20 million agreement is that their son never be mentioned in a film. So that's what got them. That's why the movie has that abrupt ending, and that's why we don't make it to Neverland in the first movie. Are you excited to see a second movie? Because, like I say, I'm not 100% sure I want to see a second movie if it's
It's just
gonna.
got to be something else. It just has to be. I mean, but so much was missed in the beginning. They're gonna scathe by a lot of things. I'm pretty sure people who was alive during the life of Elvis Presley, when they see Elvis Presley movies, they probably say, "Huh? Like y'all just gonna take a blink and
Yeah.
whatever?" Because I mean, it's so much, and then of course we have a lot of the details. But yeah, I feel like okay, so especially when it comes to these big name people like Gladys Knight and
Right.
Barry Gordy, they could have. So you know how when you're watching Cadillac records and stuff like that, it'll throw up the name of that person. Oh, this is that person,
Right.
so that you'll know this is that person.
Yeah.
Like
And Quincy Jones, I'm like, he didn't even look like Quincy Jones. How are we supposed to know that was
all they did was make him dark
him? That's it.
and have an afro.
It was bad. Yeah, they did. They
But you
did
know, I
a.
was worried for a long time because of the Quincy Jones allegations that came out with Tevin Campbell. So
Oh,
I
I
was
remember
worried. I
that.
was worried about. I was like, ooh, because I know Michael Jackson really spent a lot of time with Quincy Jones. So I was saying to
Mm-hmm.
myself, ooh, I
Mm-hmm.
hope ain't nothing happened, But I could,
Yeah.
but seeing how Joe was, I don't think nothing could happen.
I don't.
Quincy Jones definitely wasn't gonna try it and get bust up
I
because
don't think so. I
Joe wasn't
don't.
playing. Joe
I
wasn't playing.
don't. I don't think so.
Joe ain't just pull out that belt for the children.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure I'm not leaving in that. So like I say, it looks like you and I are about the same on this thing. So 0 out of 10, what would you recommend, and what is your overall score?
I mean, it's so much missing. A
Oh
lot of people that we didn't even know who the hell they was in the movie. Like I'm sitting up here saying, that wasn't his girlfriend. You're
my
like, no, that's
sister.
his sister.
And
Like,
then
can
the
somebody really
other scene I
say
wanted to
that was his
mention.
sister?
I
Like
wanted
I
to.
feel it
Do
was
you
all
remember when he bought
ambiguous.
the little Twister game and all the little games for him and the brothers to play? And it was like, nah, we got dates tonight. And then he went in there and taught the monkey how to play Twister. It was like, why did we spend this much time with this dang monkey? It was
Like
just
that was sad.
that
Yeah,
was ridiculous. It was
that was
ridiculous.
sad. That was
Whatever.
actually sad.
He had a girlfriend that y'all didn't mention. Where is Tatum? And I think Tatum might have been a little young too. I'm gonna have to go back and actually look at the age of that little girl, because I think she might have been a little young. But
Oh wow.
neither here nor there. I think Tatum was a little young. And then we didn't talk about when they was trying to get when Joseph was trying to get him to lose his virginity in the hotel. No, we didn't. We never got there. And remember, he ended up praying with the
Oh, that
girl.
really happened?
Oh yeah, that was the thing that happened. Yeah, he did because the brothers were all sleeping with people and in the room with him at the time. But yeah, the daddy wanted him to lose his virginity, so he hired two girls to basically.
Was this before Brooke Shields, the Tatum girl?
Tatum was way before Brooke Shields. Yeah, it was Tatum. Then this attempt at making him lose his virginity, and then Brooke Shields was right along the time with this monkey. But.
What about Stephanie Mills?
And Stephanie Mills was a girlfriend as well. See, all this should have been in this movie. Stephanie Mills was dating him.
During the Wiz?
Right? No, yeah, it was at the Wiz. Absolutely, she was on the set of the Wiz with him. Absolutely. Matter of fact, it was because of Michael that she went and got her nose did.
Well, Tatum was white.
Tatum is white. Yes. First girl, yeah. I'm trying to figure out how old is Tatum now. I mean, she's big.
Young.
How old was she?
Let's see.
Or when was she born? I'm just trying to figure out.
Let me see. So they dated in 78 and 79. So
when was she born?
Let me see.
Yeah, she was white. And Mike was died in 09. He was 50. Let's dial it back.
She's 62 years old now.
Oh, wait a minute. 62. Michael died in 09 when he was 50. And how many years has he been dead? 19. 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He would have been 67. Hold on, this is about to get ugly. Okay, that's a 5-year gap.
That's 5 years.
A 5-year gap. And you said they dated in 78. What year was Michael born? 60, 50, 69?
Michael.
Or 59?
Hang on.
59? Was he born in 1959?
58.
58. 1958. Okay, you say they started dating he was born in 58. They started dating in 78. Michael would have been 20 years old, and they are 5 years apart.
With him being younger?
No. She's younger. She's 62. He would have been 67.
Oh,
that means he was 20 and she was 15. Okay, so we ain't gonna say that.
Oh, Jesus.
We're not gonna say that about that.
He was spending time with the monk. He was with the monk. Oh,
that is 2021 and 15 now. We're right back to Brandy and Wanye. That's Brandy and Wanye.
Okay, wait.
Come on, fix it up.
And it's only a 10-year age difference between him and Diana Ross.
Okay, that's better. But no, we won't talk about this 21-year-old talking to this little girl. We won't talk about the 20-year-old with the 15-year-old. Okay, you don't want to talk about that, huh?
No comment.
Oh, you want to be quiet now?
No comment. But yeah, I definitely understand why Diana Ross did not want nobody to be bringing up that foolishness from back then, because the times have changed. And the thing about it was, Bill Cosby's whole comedy show was on roofing, and it was funny back then because everybody used to roof it. But then when you bring up roofing nowadays, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Now you a predator.
Yep. All right, girlie. Now back to your score. 0 out of 10, and would you recommend?
Oh, I'm gonna give it a strong 6.
Oh my God, you good. You are very fair. A 6, and would you recommend that everybody run out and see it?
I wouldn't recommend it, but I wouldn't say not to see it. I'm not I'm neutral on that part because if you did go and watch it, I mean it's a nice little made for TV movie.
Correct. It would be great on
It's a little,
Netflix.
and it have the Michael Jackson music in it, which is the most important thing. Like the
Yeah.
music, and hey, look, I started out here in Gary, Indiana, in this little poorhouse, and look where we started living at. Like, which was
Mhm.
a testament to his father,
Okay.
and to the young kids. It really was child labor, but anyway. It really was child labor, but anyway, yeah, not gonna focus on that. Just say, hey, they did great. I think everybody's doing well now.
hmm
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's good. I'm definitely not giving it a 6. I'm not gonna recommend it. I would say that hey, let's wait for this thing to make it to the television, streaming service,
Oh yeah,
Netflix.
definitely, like
It-
Netflix or something.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
great.
Prime Video for
Yeah,
free, for free.
it's great for one of those, but no, I would not recommend people go and see this in the theater. I'm not gonna give it a 6. That is too generous. I really want to give it a 4.
I mean, hey, two off. That's pretty good.
I want to give it a 4. I'm gonna give
I
it
mean,
a
because
4.
the acting was really good. Like
The acting
with the
was
daddy,
great.
the
The,
daddy. You had Neil Long. You had
yeah,
and you had Michael trying to
yeah.
going through his little male crisis thing, and he did kind of look like a saint, But go and see
The entire time,
go and
the
see
man never even raised his voice the entire movie.
go and see the sick children.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
he met the Bloods in the crypt, and nobody had an ill word, and everybody was so,
yeah,
you know, infantilized with him. Like, oh,
yeah.
Michael Jackson, we're not gonna stab each other because Michael's here. I'm sorry, let
Exactly.
me stop saying that word. We're not gonna poke each
Exactly.
other because
Yeah.
Michael's here, and
Exactly. For that reason, it's gonna have to get a 4. But
it was like a made-for-TV movie. Yes,
it was made for TV.
It's more like a PBS.
Correct.
You can put it on PBS. Yes.
Correct. And I like I say, I love Jafar in the role. He was spectacular, but they just did not give him much to work with. The story just wasn't there, or the story wasn't strong enough to even consider this a biopic. This was, as we've stated, a giant video, a giant making of a video.
A giant collective video of Michael Jackson's songs and saying, "Hey, I made this song because of this, or I made this song because of that."
Yeah. Yep. It felt like pop-up video, if you remember that show on VH1. I used to live with it. It felt like pop-up video.
But I love that power move when he was like, "Oh, you're gonna get me on MTV." Oh, but
I knew that was coming
have...
too. Like I said, I learned nothing.
Michael Jackson, he was, oh, well, they just don't play black artists.
Yeah, but it was good. Like I say, for what he had, he was excellent. I like Nia Long as the mama, although I preferred Angela Bassett. I thought Angela Bassett was a much better was better as Kate, but I guess she was a little bit more assertive than Nia Long. Nia Long,
yeah, because she still carried that. What's love got to do with it with her, especially if you put her back in, like she on 911 and other shows like that. Yeah, she's not really Tina Turner there, but most times if you're gonna put in an all black cast, she gonna either be Tina Turner or what's the one with Whitney Houston in it when she throwing that cigarette.
Waiting to Exhale.
Waiting to Exhale.
Yeah. Bernadette, Burner somebody. Exactly. But yeah. So for the acting, I'm not mad at any of the acting for the. It was just a poorly written, none written story.
I want to know what the story. Can somebody get a portion with Diana Ross in it and just release it on the black market?
That's what I would like.
We need to see what happened with that.
Can we see the original film some kind of way? I want to see what it was before y'all got sued and had to reshoot the third act. I really would like to see the original film. Are you excited to see part 2?
Well, I don't know what they're gonna do. Am I ready for the rest of his music video? Yes, I love all his music.
I mean, we ain't got a whole lot in the 90s because he slowed down after that Dangerous album pretty severely. So we get Dangerous, History.
Well, he got to do the Egyptian.
Oh yeah, that's Dangerous. Yeah,
Oh, that's in day. Okay,
yeah, that's Dangerous.
he got to do the Egyptian dance, and
So you're ready for more music video.
I mean, what else they gonna do? Because you done started us off. We don't even know who half of the people was that were celebrities. You didn't even name them. We didn't even. You got these people playing. Then we supposed to just know off the top of our head who that is. And you have to remember, this is a whole nother generation who didn't really live during the time of Michael Jackson. So it's like you need to be more detailed, just like they did in the Aretha Franklin movie. Like, tell us who these people is. Like, pop their name up. This is Sam Cooke. This is this person. This is this person. So we'll know. And the way these kids are, you put up that this Sam Cooke, they're gonna be to looked up everything on Sam Cooke.
Right.
Then they're gonna then they're gonna be able to put themselves in the mind frame of the movie. But we didn't even get that opportunity because we didn't even know. I had to literally be watching TikToks to see. Oh wait, not TikToks. It was somebody that I was on a panel with that was like, oh, it was Gladys Knight that found Michael Jackson. It wasn't Diana Ross, but they gave her all the credit.
Yep. Marketing. I think this would have better been served as like a mini series, honestly. They tried to cram way too much into 2 hours, which the same complaint I had about the last Whitney Houston film. You cannot, a story that big and a career that big, you're never going to be able to
cram it in.
To put it all together without one or the other suffering. And in this case, the music didn't suffer, but the story suffered. Exactly. So that is the problem with artists of this caliber. You're going to have to give us even 2 parts is not going to get it, because look at how much is missing in part 1. So
my son said he was about to go to sleep.
Oh wow! Okay. Okay. Well, but yeah, I think this would have been better served as a miniseries. As far as seeing part 2, I may just wait for it to come out on Netflix or the streaming service. I don't think I would go back to the movies to see part 2.
I definitely gotta wait, because like, who needs to listen to him asking his mama for a llama? It's so many other things that you could have been talking about in that time. You know what I'm saying?
And to me, a lot of it felt like wasted time. We spent all that time you spent with that monkey. We could have had some real conversation.
The monkey, Peter Pan.
Yep.
They talked about the rat, but we didn't see the rat. But we didn't see Ben.
Yes, we did. He was in the bed with the rat, talking to the rat.
I'm done.
How did you miss that boy?
I missed him in the rat, but I know they was talking about him in the rat, and they
he was talking to them in the rat in the bed.
Oh no, she said what he said. Oh, he wants the llama because the llama don't bite. She said you said that about the rat.
Yeah.
And so they had that part. Oh goodness. Yeah, it was just a lot of things that they kind of skipped through, halfway mentioned. So if I didn't know Ben, was about the rat. Yeah. Did they say the rat name was Ben? Like it was, but you know what? They introduced
You know how they have TikToks and you could just press the button and watch it super fast.
Yeah.
That's how. So wait a minute.
So they did introduce Bill.
Who?
Bill, the chauffeur.
Oh, and like I didn't even realize Bill was that important. I really did not.
Like, who is Bill? Like, why is Bill so important in this movie? Exactly. I thought it was gonna end up being something going on with Bill. I was like, wait a minute, why is Bill so important?
Why does Bill have that much influence over Michael? I just thought
because I don't know. And Bill at the end, when the daddy said, "Oh, you think you just gonna walk away or whatever?" And Bill say, "It's over."
And I didn't like that either, because if this is your main bodyguard, why wasn't he closer to the stage? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When the bodyguards are there, they're supposed to be, right there on you. I'm like, man, if somebody wanted to attack him, they could have. If Joe wanted to whoop him again, he could have went on.
Bill got 2 paychecks. He was your chauffeur and your bodyguard. Like what?
I didn't understand that. I didn't understand Bill at all.
Who is Bill? Why was Bill introduced? We need more
Yep.
information on Bill. Why is Bill so close? Why you going to talk to Bill about
Yep.
your issues with your daddy? You know,
Yep.
you couldn't have talked to one of your brothers. Like
Yep.
it was
Yeah.
wild. It was that part was wild too. I was like, somebody tell me who Bill is, because
Yep.
Bill got to be important. Is Bill
I'm gonna have to go
gonna
look
end up
up
being some
Bill.
secret boyfriend or something? Who is Bill?
I'm gonna have to go look up Bill for real. Sonya, did you see Michael before we move on?
Hey, Sonya.
We've already ripped Michael apart, but I wanted I don't know if you saw it or not.
I did not see it. I do not want to see it. I
Okay.
may end up watching it with my daughter. She
Okay.
loves Michael, so I wasn't interested. I really wasn't.
You're not gonna be
And I'm a fan of Michael, but I wasn't after seeing that who was gonna play in it. I was like, no, I wasn't interested. I didn't think the son would do it justice.
he did. I'm gonna that was the only thing that saved this movie from being a 0 for me. He was perfect. he was
Really,
he
really.
Baby,
was
he was singing and dancing and everything. Them sharp moves, all that Michael
yeah,
did.
he was
Baby, he
perfect.
got it.
He
He got
looked
it.
the part, he sounded the part, and it didn't feel like an imitation. It felt like he'd really stepped into the being.
Right.
I'm gonna give him that. If an Oscar is deserved, I sit him right next, really close to Ray with regards to becoming the person. He was Michael Jackson. I ain't gonna lie. He really
Okay,
was.
well, it would take a little bit more than that for me to watch it, though.
Yeah, it wasn't. Now the movie you're not gonna love because the movie don't have no story.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna waste my time then.
but he was spectacular. I mean, the story is I'm trying to him growing up and trying to break away from his daddy, but we all knew this going in. We know he was getting whoopings. Like you're not gonna learn anything new.
Okay,
Nothing.
okay.
We didn't know he was
So
the only one
question.
catching whippings though.
Right.
So
Now they
question.
made it look like Michael was the only child in the house getting whoopings, and Janet Jackson does not exist in this universe. We don't know how, but she just don't exist.
It's
Okay,
Neither
speaking of
the
Janet.
multiverse, and it's not the one with Janet in it.
And
So
Remy
no,
either.
so no good times.
Okay, so speaking of Janet, have
No
y'all saw
centipede.
the little clip with her saying she doesn't want to see it, she's not gonna watch it. She doesn't think the son should have been Michael. He's nowhere. Have y'all seen that on
I have
TikTok?
not. I have
Okay,
not.
there's a clip going around. If I can find it, I'll send it to you,
Okay.
Marquise. But
Yeah.
there's a clip going
Oh,
around where she's supposedly saying that she's not gonna watch it. She's not gonna be a part of the premiere, and
Your father's
the
right.
son comes nowhere close to Michael.
That's a
If
lie.
nobody knows Michael like she knew Michael. Nobody was as close to Michael as she was, even his children. I mean, it was a lot that, and I don't know if it was AI or actually her.
True.
So with her not being a part of it, like y'all are saying, maybe that was her.
We're gonna find out.
I'm
Now,
gonna try to search for it because I just saw it tonight before I went to bed.
now the daughter did not. Paris did not want any parts of the movie either. She said it was a bunch of lies, and that she knew it was gonna make a lot of money because it only fed the fans what they wanted to see. So she didn't like it either. So
Okay,
it's tons of controversy, but they made him look like a saint, complete through and through throughout the movie. And then the movie ends in 1988, so we don't even get to the controversies.
really?
No, there's supposed to be a part 2 coming out, which won't include the first set of allegations because they got sued before the movie even premiered, and they had to reshoot a third of the movie because they couldn't include anything with regards to the first set of abuse allegations. So it's gonna
Okay,
be a
so
very
part 2 is
interesting.
probably not going to be about nothing either then.
That's what I said. I'm like,
I mean, because if you're not going to give all the information, if you're not going to make it a true movie,
yeah,
then leave it alone.
correct,
I mean,
correct.
and coming from the family at this point in this time in their lives, they're all grown. There should be nothing there to be
Yeah,
afraid of. They
yeah,
should be able to be able to just tell their truth and put the movie out there like it's supposed to be.
I agree.
I
I
mean,
agree.
they put Whitney's out there.
And
They
it
put
wasn't
all the
good
other
either.
people that did movies out there, whether
Yep.
it was approved or not. It was out there.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm not gonna. I don't think. I don't know. If I do, it'll be with my daughter. Is there anything a 17-year-old shouldn't see?
Oh no,
Okay.
it's very rated G.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Except for he gets one whooping on camera.
Oh well, she gets whooping, so it's no big deal. I
But they
mean,
acting like it was the end of the world. I'm like, that is an average black whooping. I can't believe y'all acting like this is so abusive. It was just a whooping.
they consider whoopings abuse now, and trauma and all that
Um,
good stuff.
I didn't
But
feel
it didn't
good.
traumatize us, and
I was fine. I was fine.
yeah,
Okay. Well, if you do watch it, please let us know so we can come back and revisit it. At this point, I think we want to switch gears. I got about at least two other things. Girly, I did watch Inside the Manosphere. Did you watch that, Sonya?
I didn't. I forgot. I forgot
Oh,
to watch.
wow.
Look, I got a lot going on.
I got you. Girly, I did just what you told me to do. I sat down and watched that documentary, and it was very interesting. Very, very interesting. And what was so crazy about it, I went to the barbershop to get my line, and then I went and got my locks tightened.
I
I
know
was
you. And hold up, you looking fabulous now. Hold up,
I